This video is a little different as it's basically addressed to the gentleman across the pond, calls himself the anti-terrorist. He's very evocative and advocates pretty much along the same lines I do. You question authority and then you question their answers. AT, I hope you don't mind me calling you that. That's no disrespect intended. I made a comment on your site how maybe your lack of knowledge how presidents are picked and basically foisted on us made your endorsement of Ron Paul pretty much a waste of energy. But here I'm going to go a little bit further and tell you why I could never support Ron Paul, man of integrity though he might be. You gotta look beyond the words. Like we used to say, he looks good on paper. Yes, nowadays you'd say he sounds good on YouTube. His talk about government being too big, no foreign entanglements, sound money, and personal freedom, I fully support. I'm on board all the way with those few things. But like most people, when it comes to their pet peeves and personal issues, his ideas of personal freedom for the rest of us are quickly shoved aside. And yes, there is a legislative history. 3 times he's introduced bills that would make the claim that life begins at conception. Now, I'm not pro-abortion. I don't know anybody that is pro-abortion. But I do know that a large proportion of conceptions never evolve into fruition, but are spontaneously aborted for a wide variety of reasons. So is God killing babies? Anyways, reproductive issues are the private concern between a woman and her doctor. Now, Dr. Paul, his campaign position, in order to fudge over the fact that he's attempted to basically outlaw abortion, is that the states should decide. Well, that's pretty disingenuous because he's very well aware that there are a plurality of states run by men who believe that women are chattel and should be happy to be under the dominion of said men. And of course, those laws only affect poor people. Rich women will still be able to go where abortions are legally available. Now, the other issue that I have a problem with is Dr. Paul's desire to mandate prayer in public schools. And again, he has submitted bills to that effect. There's a legislative record. I grew up with prayer in school and was uncomfortable with it for basically 2 reasons. First and foremost, my religion taught me that prayer was private. You're supposed to go into a closet to pray. Secondly, they were saying the prayer incorrectly and in the wrong language to boot. Of course, at that time I was practicing in the Catholic religion, not much choice, my parents took me there. And they were still saying Mass, what they call their religious service, in Latin. I could grudgingly accept the need to translate, because already I was aware of how dumbed down the public education system was. So there's no way these kids are going to learn Latin, so translating it to English was, I guess, should have been a benevolent idea, but there's one line that just sticks in my craw. Lord, lead us not into temptation. Now, my understanding is that God would never lead you into temptation, so why would you ask him not to? Hey, I was in the second grade, so you can understand my confusion. No, I'm still confused about that. Anyways, as far as I'm concerned, Dr. Ron Paul, he is as Republican as the rest of them. He's simply acting as a pressure relief valve, kind of like the third ring in a three-ring circus. He serves to distract a portion of the blindly cheering masses. That's my opinion. Now, into the circle file.